Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and if you're wondering why should you play a mod in Total War Warhammer 3, these are a couple of animation reasons. Today we're gonna break down the Tigermen mod. First we're gonna see their Steam page, then the new buildings, and at the end the new unique unit roster of Tigermen and some surprises. Honestly, I prefer to play only with the legit content because mods are often low quality and a little cringe, but this is not the case. Even if Creative Assembly would make a DLC focusing on Tigermen, it would not reach this level. Nobody's paying me for saying that, but I will show you right now what I mean. Hi, I'm Alberto, I'm a real person, and here you will find the beginner's guide, the battle unit roster, tier list, ranking, and many shorts, so if you wanna support the channel, please consider to subscribe. This is the Steam page in case you decide to play the mod later because after you finish this video. As you can see, there are many creators and the rating is 5 stars with more than 1000 reviews. If you're gonna play the campaign with Grand Cathay, they added 2 new different buildings chains, one that is in the advanced military section that revolves around assassins that are not even Tigermen, I think they are more Jaguars or Leopard, and the other that is into the defense section together with the wall that added all the units of Tigermen and a generic hero as well. There is even a unit of gorillas that are in the base military section in an already existing building chain. Now first I wanted to mention these couple of abilities that they will be shared by many units in this little roster. First, the prone conceal. Some units will have this ability that they can become unspottable, but they cannot move. Okay, like a tiger that is waiting for its prey. And then the Eastern elixirs, that is like a potion that replenish your hit points, but you have to activate it when you are out of melee. Now we can finally start with the unit roster. And the first unit that we're gonna analyze are the Tigermen. There are 3 versions of them, all of them quite unique. They are quite expensive, keep it in mind, so you will be hard to fill your army with a lot of them. I think they work more as a support elite soldiers. They are melee infantry, okay, they are little entities, not large. And the first unit that is this with the daggers and the chakrams, they're basically this couple of knights that make them with the anti-infantry bonus. They are not very armored, but they are quite fast. The melee attack and melee defense are a little low, and consider that there are not many entities, there are just 36 that compared to other kind of infantry is a little low. The weapon strength is enough high, they have a lot of charge bonus, and then they get this missile attack where they basically throw these discs or daggers. I'm not sure what they are. I mean, I think they are the chakrams. That yeah, it's some kind of Asian missile weapon. They have the vanguard deployment, they are immune to psychology, they are woodsmen, they are immune to flanking, and they can fire whilst moving. Overall they are very great, they don't have the ammo piercing damage, so you should focus against only not armored units. The second version is the one with the shields. They will get the missile resistance, but they will not be able to fire whilst moving. In this case, they don't have anymore the daggers to shoot, but they have the bow, and this is very interesting. Okay, they are these big tigers with the big maces, a shield, and a bow. I mean, for me, they're very lovely. They have still the vanguard deployment, the abilities that we mentioned at the beginning. They are immune to psychology with the immunity to flanking, the woodsman. Overall, you can use them more as the front line. Okay, if you need a sturdy bunch of infantry to protect your other soldiers. Even here, there are not many entities, so I don't think they could be a mid shield, but they're more some elite, very defensive warriors, very expensive, but yeah, very funny to watch. I don't know where they took all these animations. You will see through all the video there are a lot of unique animation. I don't know if they created some of them. I mean, they created them because they're quite specific, but most, I don't know, probably from some clan Ashen units, but yeah, they are crazy. They made an amazing work. The third version is the anti-large one. They get the anti-large bonus, they get the spears, and they have the charge defense, not the charge reflection. In this case they don't have the fires whilst moving because they throw the, you know, like the javelins, if I remember correctly, sorry, and if not, I apologize. They have the vanguard deployment, I mean all the same abilities, and even their missile strength is is with the bonus anti-large. So yeah, these are the units that you should send against cavalry, but not armored cavalry, not armored monsters, because they lack of the armor piercing damage. And of course remember that their armor is quite low. So yeah, be very careful, because if they will charge you around, it would be problematic. Another thing that I would like to point out, I mean for you, is that they made the different models inside the same unit. Okay, you can see there are just two versions, and this in any units. And this is, you know, very elegant, very refined, polished. I very like it. Okay, there are, I mean, putting different models in the same unit is something that, I mean, probably Creative Assembly never made. The second category of units that we will address are the steel pelt Tigermen, that are basically these armored Tigermen. They are more elite, far more expensive in this case. I mean, they're some of the most expensive units in the game if you decide to use this mod, of course. They lose most of the attributes of the previous category, so they don't have the vanguard deployment, they don't have the woodsman, but they still get the immune to psychology and one of the abilities that we mentioned before, and the immunity to flanking, of course. Overall they are more armored than, I mean stronger, tougher, and they all share this missile attack that is just one grenade bomb that it's quite explosive and strong, but of course with a short range and not ammo piercing damage. So you should throw it at some bunch of low tier infantry. The first version is with the great sword. They don't have the anti-infantry bonus like you know, all the other great swords in the game, but they are armor piercing. So in case you want to send them against you know, some armored heavy infantry and so on, they may be very good. Then we get the version with halberds. In this case they get in addition the charge defense. Even here you can see that there are different models. Their armor is very great. They are you know, a reduced speed, of course, because they are more armored, so they are less useful for some kind of skirmish tactics. The melee attack and melee defense are still good, but probably would have expected more for a unit of this price. And yes, they get the armor piercing anti-large bonus that is very suitable against the big monsters, against cavalry. You can see the animation that are very cool and very nice. I don't get how they came out with something like that. I mean, seriously, even if Creative Assembly at some point would choose to make you know, its own version of the Tigermen, it cannot be of the same level. Okay, they will add just two maybe units and that's it. But this is crazy. This is really crazy. And the last version is with the shields. In this case they get also not only the charge defense, but also the missile resistance together with the shield. So they will be very protected from missile attacks, from arrows, and they have even plenty of armor. So yeah, I mean, quite resilient. The melee defense in this case is very high. The weapon strength sacrifices the armor piercing damage, so they will not be able anymore to deal damage to heavy armored units. Now let's talk about Jaguars. This unit is the more, you know, assassin stalking one. They get again the vanguard deployment, the immunity to psychology. They can fire whilst moving, and they can they can go through the forest. They don't have the stalking attribute, so I mean, be careful about that. They have less armor than the steel pelt Tigermen, so you have to be very, very careful of missile attacks, of getting surrounded by low tier infantry, but they gain more speed, so they will be faster. And then they get this special ability in their melee attack that is called Weeping Bleeding Blade, I mean Weeping Blade, something like that. Then they will reduce of 50% the armor of their opponent. This is crazy. Okay, the 50%. It means that if you have, a very heavy armored unit with 100 of armor, they can reduce it to half. Okay, and then they get the anti-infantry bonus, not armor piercing. So be careful. Don't do like me that I send them against some warriors of chaos of Zinch. And their missile attack, that is again these discs or daggers. It's with anti-infantry and with the poison effect that will reduce the stats of your enemies. Then we get the Tigermen Berserkers that are definitely the most expensive together with the Rotmongers unit in the game. Of course, if you embrace this mod. I didn't get how to recruit them. I mean, there is something that I missed. Probably I should check again. In this, that they are unbreakable. They keep all the attribute of the previous Tigermen, but they are unbreakable. That it's great. They get more armor than the Jaguars, but less than the Steel Pelt Tigermen. Their speed is 80. Okay, 80. They are the fastest infantry in the game. And then they get the standard ability in the melee attack that it's 52, just for saying, that will reduce the armor of the enemy. And then they get the weapon strength, not armor piercing, but with a lot of charge bonus. 74 of charge bonus is basically a chariot. This is an insane unit, and that's why, I mean, they run over the battlefield. They move more like tiger than men. And yeah, they're very crazy. I should try to understand how to recruit them in the campaign, but yeah, they're very, very funny, and probably they are half the model of the Skaven and half the model of the Ogre. And the last unit, not character, are the Gorillas, that in this case they are warriors of the Monkey King, reportedly. I don't know why they wanted to add it. Maybe they just saw the model of the Blood Beast of Khorne and they say, it's the right moment. They are, they look melee fighters, but believe me if I tell you that they are probably better. And they are large units, of course. And believe me if I tell you that they are better as a missile units, because they throw these kind of bombs that they are 11 ammunition, but they're so explosive with a range superior to the bombs of the Steel Pelt Tigermen, because it's 165 with a missile strength of more than 100. And you can just use them like that, and do not use the brutal force, the brutal strength, because it's not necessary at this point. They get the frenzy. The melee attack and melee defense are not that great, but at least they have a very good weapon strength, armor piercing. You have to be very careful of the armor, okay, because the armor is just 5, and they may rampage when the leadership when the leadership is broken. No, sorry, when they lose health. And this can be quite problematic, so you have to always keep an eye on them. The Tedua Shadow is the first generic hero that I will introduce you to in this video. They are basically the duelist assassin generic hero with not that much armor, but with a lot of melee attack and melee defense, a lot of weapon strength, anti-infantry that is quite big, honestly. An average charge bonus, but still great. Then this missile attack that got a lot of missile strength with the poison damage, anti-infantry, but the range is very, very low. They get the Vanguard deployment, the firewalls moving, the immunity to psychology, and many stuff like that. A couple of abilities. They have this magical projectile that I didn't get how it works, and sometimes, I mean, all the time that I try to use it, it missed the target. So I'm not sure if it's effective. I didn't like this generic hero. I loved the rest of this roster, but this is the only unit that probably I would not recruit. I mean, aesthetically it's very good looking, but I would not recruit it in my campaign, and it took a lot to fight against to take down just a Herald of Zinj. Okay, how can you do it? How can you do it? The Chandra's Vanguard is definitely the best thing I ever seen. One of the best things that I've ever seen in all the Total War Warhammer 3 saga is this armored tiger. Plenty of armor, 120, with the shield, with the missile resistance, so very strong and sturdy against missile attack. The speed is low, melee attack and melee defense are very huge, weapon strength is high but not that much, and not ammo piercing. We didn't reach yet the point of why I'm so excited about this unit. The charge bonus is little. They have a magical bow. Okay, they are of course a tank with a magical bow that can just make appear, and they can throw these big javelins with 636 of strength, a lot of ammunition with the magical effect. The range is of 200, so very good for a bowman. And then they have so many abilities. They can summon a celestial lion that can wreak havoc into the battlefield. Unfortunately, at some point it disappears, it goes away. I mean, it's still a summoned unit. And then he got a missile, a special missile ability where he basically go up a little flies in the sky, and he will throw these 3 or 4 arrows in a row. And yeah, I mean, it's very lovely. I had a lot of fun with it. Be careful if you get surrounded, because even if it's very armored, it's not a damage dealer. And even if the armor is great, all the stats overall they don't make it that crazy. And then there is an ability that is very worthy to mention, because if the unit that you are fighting with is a demon or an undead, they can banish them. Okay, they can make them disappear. I will show you now in this video that I will prepare later, but I'm pretending that it's already here. And yeah, they just disappear. Okay, like if they never existed. And wow, just wow. The last hero we're gonna talk about is the Cloud Walker. That is a panda. Okay, you may like it or not, but if you have the dream of playing with the Kung Fu Panda in Total War Warhammer 3, finally you got your chance. It has a very little armor, but a lot of leadership. The speed is more than okay. Melee attack and melee defense are great. The weapon strength is huge, but with no ammo piercing damage. And now let's talk about why this unit drives me crazy. First, the animation are some of the coolest in the game, because it basically spins and swirls with his stick, like the Monkey King probably will do at some point when he will come to the game. But wow, I mean, I don't know if there is another unit with the same animation. I don't know, maybe the Terracotta Sentinels, but it's so funny to see the stick swirling and hitting very hard the enemies. Then it got a couple of missile abilities. One where he basically throw with the kick. I mean, he kick the stick towards the enemy, and then the magical stick goes back to him. That it's such a nice, it's so nice to watch it. And then this other ability where he drinks some fire, some lava, and then he spit these giant flaming balls onto the enemies. And yeah, overall it's crazy. It's very funny to watch. And I mean, what can I say? I'm so impressed with the work they made. They didn't just take some reskins and some models and they made the reskin. No, it's another completely you know, another level. And just wow, there should be more models like that. And the last unit we're gonna talk about is the Jadeclaw Warlord. That is the generic lord for this unit roster. They've basic. The last unit we're gonna talk about is the Jadeclaw Warlord. That is the generic lord of this unit roster. He doesn't have a lot of armor, the speed is great, melee attack and melee defense are great, especially the attack. The weapon strength is huge and it's even armor piercing. Okay, charge bonus more than average. It has this special ammunition that I didn't get what is that. It's kind of it just causes a magical explosion with a little range, so be careful of that. And of course with the no armor piercing damage. Now he got plenty of abilities, even too much probably. Then he can summon, and summon, it's not the right word, because basically it can generate this meteorite that will come from the sky, will hit the ground, causing an explosion and dealing a lot of damage with that. And from this explosion will jump out these very special elite soldiers that are not in the unit roster. They are a new, I mean, just like they did with the Celestial Lion. It's they created a model even just for the summon. Okay, when you see Creative Assembly doing something like that. And yeah, then they get plenty of abilities, of stuff, and overall they are very, very great. It's everything lovely here. Please support these guys, because if you support them, they will make more mods like that, I will make more videos, and we will have all fun together. Thank you for following me, and see you very, very soon.